Alright, so I just want to start this video off by saying that I don't really have any issues with Diesel Patches or his content. I think he's a pretty alright commentary channel. But recently he made this video on Idubbbz, which if I had to put it in simple terms, it's basically just a nothing burger topped off with some pretty garbage talking points. And you guys are going to see what I mean when we get into the video. So to give you a quick lore dump, give you the quick rundown on the whole situation, recently Idubbbz made a video talking about some pretty stupid conservative talking points regarding women's role in society and, you know, abortion rights and stuff like that. And overall, I mean, for the most part, I thought it was a pretty alright video. Nothing like revolutionary or life-changing, but definitely not something I think that would like warrant a fucking drama video being made on it. But Diesel Patches made a video and it was being shared around on my Discord server. I even had one person saying, oh, Idubbbz went down the breadtuber arc, you know, this is pathetic, it's sad, it's going downhill for him. And I don't really understand that because like I don't really get what was so woke breadtube soy boy about Idubbbz video. What do you think, like Idubbbz saying women have a larger role in society besides being housewives and baby makers? Do you think that's woke? Do you feel called out by that? Like, I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense to me, the whole woke breadtuber argument. Maybe Idubbbz has been making some pretty cringe breadtuber videos recently. I'm not sure. I haven't really looked at his channel besides this video, so I don't know, and I don't really care. I'm not somebody that like obsesses over hating breadtubers, but that's besides the point. See, the reason I wanted to make today's video was just because after seeing the full picture here and seeing both the videos made by Idubbbz and Diesel Patches, I kind of came to the conclusion that Diesel Patches video was just a nothing burger littered with half-assed talking points, and people have been talking about this, so I was like, you know what, I might as well make a video, give my take on it. And also, one last thing I want to mention before we take a look at the video is that I'm by no means like an Idubbbz fan. I know some people are gonna comment, you know, Idubbbz fan, co-parter, soy boy, woke, you know, whatever. Never cared for Idubbbz content, never really will care for it. It's just not my thing. Only reason I even watched this video by Idubbbz was because I saw people talking about it and Diesel Patch's video on it, so just wanted to go ahead and put that out there. And anyways, yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this video. Let's see how Diesel Patches owns this woke soy boy breadtuber.
So Ian, what have you got for us today?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Idubbbz Complains. Today, I'm going to be complaining about a little bit of a heavier topic than portion sizes at Cold Stone. This is a video about abortion.
Okay, interesting choice. Covering the topic of abortion, of all things. Before even starting this video, I already have an issue with it. Why? Well, the existence of this video has me asking myself, what is even the point of Ian making a video about abortion? If I wanted to inform myself on the topic of abortion, I'd probably refrain from listening to the washed-up YouTuber who's never displayed any knowledge of this issue before, and is also a guy. This is the equivalent of a daily commentary sloptuber sharing their viewpoint on foreign policy. Alright guys, so today I'm going to be talking about the Saudi-led intervention of Yemen. So anyways guys, the Saudis are being kind of cringe with their drone strikes.
You know, that's a great first talking point. That could also be applied to you. See, if we go to your channel and scroll back to a few months, we see that you made 2 videos on the US election situation. Now, Diesel Patches, why would I care about what you have to say about the US election or politics? You're just a commentary sloptuber. You know, whatever you say about politics, it doesn't matter. Have you ever displayed any knowledge of politics before? Are you being paid off by the Daily Wire and Ben Shapiro to spew some garbage? So your opinion's invalid on politics. Never speak on politics again. This is cringe, boo, get out of here, rip bozo, L. Also, I love that Diesel Patches calls attention to Idubbbz being a man, implying that, like, you know, he can't have an opinion on like women's rights to an abortion, which is again just stupid. It's just a half-assed point. Am I not allowed to criticize how the new Ram 2500 looks because I don't work for Chrysler? Like, it's just stupid. It's a dumb point. And also, I think I should call attention to the fact that Ben Shapiro is about to pop up. You know, some clips of Ben Shapiro are going to pop up, and Diesel Patches never calls attention to the fact that Ben Shapiro is a guy and he tries to speak on many, you know, things regarding women, not even just abortions, but like, you know, women's role in society and, you know, where women are the happiest. But Diesel Patches never really calls attention to that. He kind of just says, oh, evil conservative monster tries to say where women are the happiest, basically like kind of, you know, mocking anyone that disagrees with Ben Shapiro.
Back in November, there was a trend amongst Twitter incels to tweet out some version of your body, my choice. And for all of the self-hating women, it was my body, his choice. Of course, a lot of these accounts either went private or are suspended, which is quite the accomplishment to do on Elon Musk's Twitter.
You'll quickly find out this video wasn't created to have a nuanced discussion, but to demonize the other side by only showing the most extreme of cases. If Idubbbz was able to craft clever jokes and provide an entertaining format, then this video would have some sort of level of value, like a stand-up comedian making light of political issues. But because Idubbbz has lost his comedic touch, this video just feels kind of lifeless.
No, I'm not sure if we just watched the same video, but I don't recall Idubbbz saying, oh, these evil conservatives had this trend on Twitter in November to tweet out hateful stuff towards women. All Idubbbz said was it was a trend amongst Twitter incels. Also, I don't think Idubbbz is even trying to make it out like, oh, the right is just all, you know, psychos who want to control women. Now, like I said, I'm not sure if we watched the same video, but I didn't really get that vibe from Idubbbz's video. I didn't really get the impression that he was trying to paint all conservatives as evil people who just want to control women's bodies. He was just highlighting some really dumb talking points, and it just so happens that those talking points came from conservatives.
They're just hateful people. We got a woman wearing a Confederate flag saying, "My body, his choice." Now, how would this get worse? Oh, Nazi shit. My body, his choice, Nazi shit.
That isn't even the same woman from the previous post that you displayed. What's funny is that later on you brag about the sample size you mustered up for your viewers.
Okay, I think that'll do for sample size.
But it's only a total of 4, and you wrongfully used 2 different people for one of those examples. I'm not even sure why you're trying to make a connection between the My Body, His Choice crowd with
Burns and Pauls! Burns the central government!
I'm assuming it's so you can demonize the other side so much to a point you're justifying this video lacking nuance.
Once again, like, show me the part where Idubbbz is claiming the entire right is
Burns and Pauls! Burns the central government!
He's just pointing out unhinged behavior that just so happens to be, you know, on a certain side of the political spectrum. He's not claiming that, oh yeah, this entire political party is, you know, funny World War II mustache man party.
So Ian reviews Ben Shapiro clips where that heartless conservative monster speaks for women by saying that motherhood is an essential part of womanhood. Ian presents the argument as that evil conservative thinks a woman's only value is giving birth.
Let's talk about a woman's value. What is a woman's value? I guess you can narrow it down to reproductive organs. Like, okay, her value is giving birth.
That is what the secularist left would like, apparently, is you take away the thing that makes women most women, i.e. getting married and having children. You take those things away from them, and then that will make them the happiest they have ever been. There's only one problem. There is no data to support that anywhere on Earth.
So here in the first clip, Ben argues the claim that single women without children are the happiest they'll ever be is false. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but I will say this clip seems unrelated to Ian's claim that Ben thinks a woman's only value is giving birth.
You take the part of you that is the most unique to your sex and then discard that or treat that as though that is a downside to who you are. It's antithetical to what womanhood is. It's very puzzling.
The second clip is more fitting for Ian's argument, but looking at Ben Shapiro's face here, I can tell you this clip is from many years ago. Yeah, what were you doing a few years ago, Ian? This won't be the first time Ian uses really old clips, even dating back to 2016, to make fun of people in his video, which is prime edgy racist Idubbbz era.
All right, so we got a lot to break down here, and let's just go ahead and start off with the first thing, and I mentioned this earlier, and that is Diesel Patches, you know, calling out Idubbbz, saying, you know, Idubbbz can't have an opinion on abortion, you know, his video is worthless, he's a guy, he can't have an opinion on that. But then when Ben Shapiro talks about, you know, women's value in society and what makes a woman the most happy, what, then all of a sudden Ben Shapiro's opinion is like valid now? It just, you know, we let that slide, you know. Ben Shapiro can talk about how, like, you know, what makes a woman the most happy in society and a woman's value in society and what makes a woman, but then the minute Idubbbz talks about abortion rights, then, whoa, Idubbbz can't have an opinion on that. He's a guy.
Interesting choice. Covering the topic of abortion, of all things. Before even starting this video, I already have an issue with it. Why? Well, the existence of this video has me asking myself, what is even the point of Ian making a video about abortion? If I wanted to inform myself on the topic of abortion, I'd probably refrain from listening to the washed up YouTuber who's never displayed any knowledge of this issue before, and is also a guy,
That is what the secularist left would like, apparently, is you take away the thing that makes women most women, i.e. getting married and having children. You take those things away from them, and then that will make them the happiest they have ever been. There's only one problem. There is no data to support that anywhere on Earth.
So here in the first clip, Ben argues the claim that single women without children are the happiest they'll ever be is false. I'm not saying that's right or wrong.
Now, me personally, I don't really care what gender you are. If you want to have an opinion on this, then by all means, go for it. Go ahead. However, the issue I take here is that Diesel Patches, when it comes to Idubbbz, he's like, well, you're a guy. You can't have an opinion on this subject. That's like me watching a daily commentary slop tuber talk about like political issues in other countries. But then when Ben Shapiro gives his opinion on like, you know, what makes a woman and like, you know, what makes a woman happy, then it's, oh, well, I'm not going to say if he's right or wrong. I'll leave it up to you guys. Like, this is just starting to come off as pretty hypocritical. And this video is starting to feel like just something that Diesel Patches quickly whipped up and was like, okay, well, everybody hates Idubbbz, and if I make a video shitting on Idubbbz, then easy views, I guess, was the plan. I'm not exactly sure, but it's very ironic because Diesel Patches earlier accused Idubbbz of making this video purely out of demonizing the other side and not wanting to have an actual nuanced discussion about this issue. Meanwhile, case in point, basically what Diesel Patches is doing. Anyways, another point I wanted to cover was Diesel Patches bringing up that Idubbbz used to be like racist back in the day, and Idubbbz can't use clips like from old Ben Shapiro interviews or whatever, because I guess during the time of those interviews, Idubbbz was racist, which again is just another half-assed talking point. Idubbbz doesn't stand by what he did back then. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a whole controversy around Idubbbz disowning like his past and disavowing what he did back in the day. Whereas with Ben Shapiro, I'm pretty sure he still, for the most part, holds like the same views. So once again, just a terrible argument. And hey, look, if I'm wrong, you know, about Ben Shapiro, if he is suddenly pro-choice, then please let me know in the comments down below. But last time I checked, he isn't.
I mean, if you have to pull things from like 2016 and 2018, you're not really proving this is a relevant topic we're talking about. I mean, this isn't supposed to be a video exposing these guys. Everyone's seen these clips before. They're super old. Like, did you pull these from a libtard Karen feminazi gets wrecked compilation? Again, I could easily pull up an old video from you and criticize your past behavior, especially from 2016 and 2018.
The difference is Idubbbz apologized for his bad behavior.
Yeah, and Gavin McInnes, one of the individuals Ian clipped, said he regrets a lot of the past remarks he made and isn't guilt-free. Point is, Ian is the wrong person to talk about this. And it's extremely ironic that someone like Idubbbz would pull up old videos of someone saying up shit, because that's how he built his career.
That was one person. Out of the many people Idubbbz clipped, you gave an example of one person. I never knew Gavin McInnes also was Ben Shapiro, Steven Crowder, Charlie Kirk. I'm probably missing a few other people. But yeah, I didn't realize Gavin McInnes apologizing accounted for like all those other people.
It's not even remotely puzzling. Let's just... Oh. Benjamin Shapiro, you are the bust king. Women do not want to be known as, I was gonna say the bust queens. I think a lot of women would prefer not to be known as baby maker, and she kind of does art on the side.
Dude, you look just as stupid by pulling this speaking for women crap.
Actually, this is how a woman wants to define womanhood.
Why are you the one delivering this message as a dude telling people what women want? This goes back to my main point about this video being completely worthless. What can I take away from some random guy online repeating the same points I've already heard a million times about the topic of abortion? Nothing new is being provided here.
You're talking to the women. They know. The women are going to tell you what makes you happy and what makes you fulfilled. Why are you doing it to them? If it's so fucking obvious that this is what women want, you shouldn't have to be chirping like you are. It should just be automatic. You should have some faith that these women aren't children. You can't play this game where you're like, my wife ended up finding more fulfillment, therefore women are going to find more fulfillment out of being a mother. Let them decide that on their own.
You know, Idubbbz, I agree with that. I think that's a great point. Let's see how Diesel Patches counters that.
That's right, my fellow sisters. I'm here to say men don't speak for you, and you deserve to have your own voice. Now allow me to demonstrate my morals by speaking for you.
All right, so once again, taking the whole, oh, well, you're a man, so you can't talk about this issue angle, which I've broke down many times earlier, so I'm not gonna, you know, explain this again. But what I will say is that I just don't get the whole, like, oh, Idubbbz is speaking for women. It's like, Idubbbz is just saying, let women speak for themselves. You know, why are you trying to push a certain idea of what women want down people's throats? You know, if women really wanted this, wouldn't they just automatically gravitate towards it? Like, that is a fair talking point by Idubbbz. but for some reason Diesel Patches has such an issue with this. Also, I just wanted to go ahead and show you this clip from Idubbbz video that of course Diesel Patches doesn't show this because it would make Idubbbz look, you know, sane. And if Diesel Patches were to have an issue with that clip, then, you know, people would start being like, that's kind of dumb. Why are you mad at that?
I think a lot of women would prefer not to be known as baby maker, and she kind of does art on the side. Baby maker, and she does baking. She makes a pretty good souffle. She's a baby maker, and she sells some clothes on Depop. They're not going to forget that this is what they do. They have reminders every month of what they are and what they can do with their body. They don't need that to be their title. Just like you and I don't need Buster Extraordinaire as our titles.
Women find fulfillment in being married and having children. I can testify to this in my own life. My wife, of course, very famously a doctor, went to UCLA Medical School, brilliant woman. Also, the place where she easily finds the most fulfillment. And she'll tell you this, bar none, without a doubt, being a mom, being a wife. Those are the places where she finds the most fulfillment.
That's awesome. I would love for a lot of women to have the choice that your wife had and be able to postpone their pregnancy until a later date when they finish college, maybe have a stable job, and maybe aren't with like an abusive partner. You know, that would be ideal. Ben Shapiro will constantly use his wife as an example of what is fulfilling to a woman, specifically a mother and a wife. But he does this after his wife has graduated, worked as a doctor, and now has kids. And I think the reason that your wife finds fulfillment out of being a mother is because she has something to compare it to, which is a career. And you can't play this game where you're like, my wife ended up finding more fulfillment, therefore women are going to find more fulfillment out of being a mother. Let them decide that on their own. I really hate this idea of getting so like laser focused on these particular roles. That's the beauty in being a human being. We can both do these roles. Like, what the is a single mother, if not a provider, if not a protector, if not a nurturer? She does all of the things that the man does. So why are we giving this title to men? Men and women are protectors, they're nurturers. They do all the things. By the way, the reason I'm saying this is just to suggest what they're saying is horseshit. If you have found in your personal life that your husband going off to work is a better setup and it's just a lot easier for you, or your wife staying at home taking care of the kids is better, that's awesome. More power to you. That's great. But we shouldn't pretend that our lives are other people's lives.
I just want to show you guys these clips because I feel like the way Diesel Patches clips Idubbbz and, you know, inserts clips and explains what Idubbbz is saying outside of the clips, I feel like it's almost malicious. Like it's almost being clipped and explained in a way just to paint a certain narrative about Idubbbz so that way he can make a seemingly justified hate video on Idubbbz because, you know, Idubbbz is just an easy commentary punching bag. Like I said, this video just feels like a nothing burger, like a video that just didn't really need to exist.
Women do not want to be known as, I was gonna say the bust queens. I think a lot of women would prefer not to be known as baby maker, and she kind of does art on the side.
The next segment, Ian says it's wrong for Charlie Kirk to claim women should have children in their 20s instead of their 30s, while ignoring the fact that you need a job or a career to pay for a child, which is definitely a sound position to have. The thing is, though, is that every lefty and their mother has made a Charlie Kirk video. Ian didn't really provide anything new in terms of information about Kirk.
I love that counter argument. Well, you see, a bunch of liberals have talked about this guy already, so like, fuck you. You didn't say anything new, okay? Instead of having a reasonable take, you should have had an unreasonable take. Then it's a new take. You can't have an opinion that somebody else has, obviously, as any scholar would know. No, officer, what do you mean it's wrong for me to say that people should be allowed to steal from homeless people? It's an original take. It's an original opinion. So automatically, it's right, and it should be the only opinion that exists because it's original, obviously.
Charlie Kirk needs to come up with practical solutions for real-world problems. He doesn't suggest new laws or policies.
He literally played a clip of Charlie Kirk suggesting that women should receive welfare from the government to incentivize women to keep the baby, 5 minutes before saying he doesn't offer a solution in the form of policy.
I believe that for every child you get, you should get cash from the federal government. Did you know that?
That's great. How much cash do you want them to have?
$10,000, $12,000 a year. I think we need to increase the birth rate in our country.
So either you're being disingenuous or your brain is actually that fucking fried.
I mean, hey, fair enough, I guess. It's just sad that we had to wait until like the end of the video for Diesel Patches to make an actual valid point.
I'll wrap this thing up by saying that these guys are well aware that they're losing the war.
It seems to me this is always going to be a loser for Republicans.
I understand it's not politically feasible. I understand people like abortion, but I'm going to keep on standing for moral truth, even if it's unpopular.
There will be some people that say, Charlie, stop talking about this issue. It's a losing issue. First of all, who cares?
And so we've lost the culture war to a certain extent on abortion. And what Donald Trump is doing right now is trying to win this election.
Based on the vibes I'm getting, it really feels like a lot of these people are not that committed to the pro-life movement.
How is that the takeaway from this? First off, you claim this movement is dying, but to prove this claim, you only show like 4 examples, and most of them are from Charlie Kirk. Speaking of Kirk, he basically said in both of his clips he doesn't care if it's the unpopular belief, he's still going to fight what he believes is right. The other clips are people acknowledging that the popular opinion is that people are pro-choice, which according to Ian, simply acknowledging reality means you're not committed to your cause. How does that insinuate these guys aren't committed to the pro-life movement?
I mean, hey, once again, fair enough. I think it's just sad that we had to wait until the end of the video for Diesel Patches to finally make 2 good points out of the almost like 9-minute long video on this. In reality, this video could have just been like 2 minutes long, or it could have just not existed at all. But yeah, overall, pretty bad video by Diesel Patches. I saw this getting shared around on my Discord server, and you know, there was some discussion around it. And overall, I think the big takeaway from this was just, you know, a massive nothing burger topped off with some sloppy talking points. Nothing special, nothing important, kind of just a waste of time. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe if you did enjoy. Also check out the Discord server, link in description. And yeah, as always, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.